predictability. The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. Did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This whole world's confusing me. Clouds as mean as you've ever seen. Ain't a bird who knows you're true. Then a little voice inside you whisper, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a place of somebody who needs you. Everywhere you look, when you're lost out there and you're all alone, light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, everywhere you look.
Welcome to the Bulldog Bark. This week is Spirit Week and we have a lot of interesting updates for you. Now on to Kat with a bit of news.
IBM, the largest computer company in the world, has launched a project involving the use of Bitcoin to aid small businesses in underdeveloped countries to take part in world trade. What's Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital form of currency created and held electronically, produced by people. There is no single administrator of Bitcoin, and transactions take place between users directly. At time of writing, one Bitcoin is worth $5,719 US. The use of Bitcoin in blockchain technology, an unchangeable record of transactions, allows a fast exchange of currency around the world without the use of a middleman. This system gives people with smaller currencies the ability to be included in a global market, outside the control of big banks and governments. Currently, this payment system is already being used in 12 different regions. Let's see a bit of what you guys had to say about it.
Can you tell me what Bitcoin is?
Nope, because I don't know what that is.
I cannot.
I do not know what that is.
It's like an online sort of worldwide currency.
It's an untraceable currency that is used for the black market and other sorts of things.
Do you guys know what Bitcoin is?
No.
No.
A Bitcoin? Isn't that stuff you sell in the black market?
It's sometimes used in the black market.
I don't have a slightest idea what Bitcoin is.
Bitcoin? Sounds like some type of currency that's used on a media.
Can you guess what the value of one Bitcoin is in US dollars?
$1?
Pretty sure it's a couple $100.
5 cents?
There's, for the American dollar's backed behind trust and gold in Fort Knox. So from what I'm taking from what you just told me, there's nothing backing a Bitcoin, so I think a Bitcoin's worthless.
I would say, I think they're pretty expensive. I would say maybe around $500 for one.
500 million? I'm gonna go with 10.
$1? 0.01 of a dollar?
One Bitcoin would be $1.
Can you see this kind of currency being used in the future?
Yes, I can.
Definitely not. I feel like we have a solid program now, and we already got all the math done out for, like, if you want to exchange the US dollar for dinaros and different currencies like that. So to base the world's economy on something that has no value, only has virtual value, no physical value, that's kind of pointless in my opinion.
Can you see this kind of currency being used in the future?
It's possible. I think it's possible.
Maybe, because everything nowadays is so expensive that we might have to up the worth of what we have.
No.
Why not?
That's if everything was like $5,000, then everything would be more expensive in the near future.
I hope to.
No.
Why not?
Because it's a lot of money for one thing.
Why do you hope so?
Because that's a lot of money. Like, one Bitcoin is like, you said $5,000? If I had like a lot of Bitcoins, I have a lot of money.
How do you think Bitcoin is going to affect world trade?
I think it will have a positive effect and make it easier to pass currencies.
What kind of positive effect?
I think it will be easier to where you ain't got to take and trade out your currency and everything each time.
Depends how the government deals about it, because a lot of the black market stuff, I'm guessing with Bitcoins, it's kind of illegal. So I don't know.
We're having a lot more like international like purchases and all that sort of thing, and international communication. So that's just like an easier way for us to buy stuff from other countries. My brother was like really into it a few years ago, and I think that some of the stuff he was worried about was like hacking and it be easier to hack, like an online currency.
I can see it uses like for us to buy things from other countries instead of using our currency, which doesn't apply to them. We use Bitcoin.
Possibly in the future, but I would think it would need to be backed by either the government or a banking system, or I'd have some real concerns about it not being backed by somebody.
Tell me about your concerns.
I would want to know who was in charge of it, who was controlling it, and if there wasn't somebody in control of that, I would have some real concerns about what was happening with it.
So it's not controlled by anyone. There is a cataloging system that catalogs every transaction, and it cuts out any middleman. It's user-to-user interaction. How do you feel about that?
So who controls the value of it?
The market.
That might be my concern.
Why?
I would be real concerned about the value of this if there wasn't somebody controlling it, and who controls how much you start with and where you get it from, and the value of it. That would be my concern.
You trade real money for it, and then it becomes Bitcoin money.
So it is kind of controlled by our government because it starts with your actual money.
Yes, but the government has no control over it.
I could see us going to that then.
Why?
Because I think that if it starts with your own money and you're just going to trade money for this other kind of currency and then take out the banking, I don't know, it may defunct the banking system though, so it's going to cause some issues.
Is that a bad thing?
Well, it certainly would take out a lot of jobs. Then what are we going to do with our loans? And I mean, I guess that would be the place of the banks would only be loans then and not holding your money. It would be interesting.
I would say no, simply because, one, it's still so new if you really look at how long our own money system goes back. And I think that people have a hard time trusting something that they can't actually see or feel, and the person in charge of it is faceless and nameless.
So how far in the future would you think that we would use this if we did?
I would say for a digital currency to actually take shape, I would look at at least several hundred years.
What if I told you 12 different regions are already using it?
That's scary.
Why? Why is it scary?
I guess I don't trust it, and I think, one, I'm kind of old school, but from the time that I can remember, it's always been paper money, or the coin money that we use today. It's always been government backed. So that's all I know, and that's what I feel comfortable with. So the fact that could be changing is a change that can always be scary.
Right now, it affects a lot of the black market stuff because it's untraceable. But I think maybe in the future, it'll help with a bit more illegal stuff. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, you can't really tell about these things. We'll have to see.
Now on to Kirsten and Katie for a recap of last week's DHS pageant.
This Saturday was our annual DHS pageant. Emery Hensley was crowned Miss DHS.
And Ben Costner was crowned Mr. DHS.
Let's see what they have to say about their new titles.
How does it feel to be representing Dixon as Mr. DHS?
It feels pretty good. I had a good time doing it. I mean, I like being the face of Dixon, I guess.
And how was the experience for you?
I had a lot more fun doing a pageant than I thought I would. It was pretty fun. I like to impress people, make them laugh, I guess.
What was this experience like for you?
It was very fun, and when they called my name, I was very surprised because I didn't think I was gonna win it.
What will you do to represent Dixon as Miss DHS?
To represent Dixon as Miss DHS, I will go to all of the school events, be very outgoing, talk to all the teachers and all the students, and be in parades, like Shrimp Festival Parade and Holly Ridge Community Christmas Parade and all that kind of stuff.
Congratulations, Ben and Emery. Now on to AD.
Thanks, Katie and Kirsten. Last weekend, your Dixon High School Marching Bulldogs performed their show at White Oak. They got third in Visual Ensemble and won the People's Choice Awards. This weekend, they perform at Topsail at 4:30. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, AD. And now over to Ash and Brad for this week's sports updates.
Welcome back to the best doggone sports show not on TV with Ash and Brad. To kick it off this week, Haley Russell beat her PR under 20 minutes and is placed second in the conference by 0.4 of a second.
The tennis team is moving on to the second round on Tuesday night with their 6-3 win over Goldsboro.
Soccer won Wednesday 3-1 against Traps.
The volleyball team also beat Richlands 3-1 on Tuesday. Good job to everybody who participated in Power Puff. Thanks for all the good work.
Tonight is homecoming, so make sure you come out and support your dogs.
Now over to Cheyenne with our Athlete of the Week, Auntie Jackson.
Congratulations on being this week's Athlete of the Week. What position do you play?
I play quarterback and running back.
Personally, how can you help improve the team?
I can help motivate them and inspire them when we get discouraged when something bad happens on the field.
Do you have any thoughts for tonight's game?
Yeah, we're going to go out there, we're going to get it.
Thanks, Shy.
And for the NBA, the Cavs beat the Celtics, and Gordon Hayward suffered a dislocated ankle and a fractured tibia. He'll be out for the season.
The Rockets beat the Warriors in a close 122 to 121 victory. Now over to Facts with Emily.
Welcome to this week's Fact Show without Zach, the first edition of Facts with Emily. Today we are talking about crocodiles and crocs. Crocodiles are one of the largest cold-blooded animals in the world. They are commonly associated with alligators. However, the most visible difference is crocodiles have a V-shaped snout, while alligators have a more U-shaped. The largest species of crocodile is the saltwater crocodile. They can get up to 13 to 18 feet long and 2,200 pounds. 90% of crocodiles die in the first year of life. However, the females lay up to 20 to 80 eggs. Crocodiles have lived on Earth for 240 million years. That makes sense because their two common ancestors are the birds and dinosaurs. Finally, crocodiles seem to have a thing for monsoons because that's the only time they mate. It might not be crocodile mating season, but next Monday we have a holiday coming up. National Croc Day. Crocs began being manufactured in 2002. Since then, they started the Crocs Cares program, which has donated around 9 million pairs of Crocs to underprivileged children in poorer parts of Asia and Africa. Crocs started out as a boating shoe with holes in them for more aerodynamic purposes. Since then, they began to rehabilitate the Crocs and put fleece in them and make Croc slides. Hope to see you on Monday wearing your Crocs.
Thanks, Emily. Now let's see what our teachers would be if they weren't teachers.
If you weren't a teacher, what would you do?
Originally, I wanted to be a pharmacist. I was in pharmacy school before I switched to education. But now, I wouldn't want to be a pharmacist. I would want to be a criminologist, like criminal minds. Cool. Yeah, the science of crimes stuff.
Well, that depends on what stage of life you're talking about. So, obviously, when I was 21, I wanted to play for the NBA, and I thought I was, a good specimen for them, but I wasn't tall enough to play for the NBA.
If I wasn't a teacher and I applied myself when I was younger, I would have been a vet. An animal vet, maybe even a large animal vet. I would be delivering elephants instead of teaching elephants.
If I were not a teacher at this point in my age, I probably would just be in a nursing home somewhere. But
okay, so like if nothing else mattered, distance, time, money, nothing, I would be the girl at the tip of Orca's nose at SeaWorld.
I would like to be a sniper. Yeah, I would have been a good sniper back in the Revolution.
Yeah, I would probably be a wildlife officer because I like being outside, I like hunting, I like fishing. I like boats, I like guns, I like being outside. So a wildlife officer, a biologist, something outside.
I do like to sell things that I believe in, so I think I could be a good car salesman because I like cars, and I think I can sell houses because I like houses. Yeah, but I really like teaching, so it'd be tough not to be a teacher.
I'd be a DJ mix master with my 2 turntables and a microphone.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a great weekend. I hate Crocs.
Hi guys, I'm super excited to share with you the cover for this year's Canis Tours, which is our yearbook. Every single teacher at this school has a poster in their room that says one word and then a word that's really important to them. Our yearbook theme this year is one word Dixon. This takes all those words that were important to teachers and encompasses them all in one word, Dixon.
Hey!
Hey guys, welcome to the Bulldog Bark.
How's your weekend?
It's good.
Shoes to underprivileged children.
Today we're getting curious. Where would our teachers be if not in the classroom? Gosh.
What's Bitcoin? What's Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a Bitcoin.
Now over to Facts with Emily.
No.
I tongue twisted it.
Yeah.
up your words, buddy.
I gotta say.
Shut up, Kayla.
Go.
Congratulations for being this week's athlete of the week.
Keontae, what are you doing?
Soccer won.
What's Bitcoin? I need the teleprompter to go faster. Like, don't record this one. This is just recording.
Thank you. And now on to who am I transitioning into? I don't know.
Is that good?
It's a good job.
It's a good job. Good job.
I need another question.
The mic is so sweaty right now.
Why is it sweaty?
Because of me.
Is it still recording? Can I hit unrecord?
Yeah.
Can I unrecord?
Yeah, hurry, because there wasn't that much time left.